Man, we've had a great week so far, as short as it's been. Guys have come in and really handled the short week well so far. So we'll get on the field today. We'll see what it looks like. But a lot of information thrown their way in a short period of time, and working on getting our bodies as ready as we possibly can for Friday. So, but we're in a good spot right now. Excited about this opportunity. Go ahead and open it up.
In the spirit of the holiday and all of us being here, you want to tell us whether Jalen or Kyler is coming off of IR?
We've got a plan in place for them, and we're really right on track with what we were hoping to get done with them. So we'll know soon enough.
And linebacker depth a concern with Barkley coming, or is there a plan of, knock on wood, down?
Yeah, I mean, we always have a plan. I think we got a good projection of who we will have available for us there on game day, and contingency plans. If we end up losing a guy or two at certain spots, then we'll have to make some adjustments. But that's what Da and his crew have done a great job of on their side of the ball. We do the same thing on offense, just to make sure we're prepared and we don't miss a beat. So it's similar to last week, where we'll have all hands on deck, really all three phases.
And with Jalen and Kyler, what's your philosophy on using pitch counts to ease guys back in that have missed a lot of time?
Yeah. I mean, I go back to the moment we started practicing them. It was with the big picture in mind of how do we acclimate them, make sure that we're putting them in a good spot. So throughout the course of the weeks of practice, we've been able to slowly increase the rep count there, and then we'll be very mindful of that when we do get them up and going in a game. Just we don't want to throw them into the wolves or put them in a bad spot. So that's all been talked about, and we have a plan for it.
Declan said yesterday how Vic Fangio's defense is kind of the opposite. They're trying to limit big plays. You guys are looking for the big plays. What's your appreciation as you go up against that kind of defensive identity? And a guy's been doing it for so long.
Yeah, I mean he's like the Godfather in a lot of ways. I mean he's kind of taken the league over in terms of that scheme. It's been to a number of teams. You see all of his disciples running it now. We already faced one in New Orleans this year. Carolina. I mean, it's all over the place. The Rams are running it to a degree, and so he's influenced the game significantly. And it's the shell defense. They want to limit the explosives. And I think when you have the horses up front like he does, to where they can stop the run game while playing too high, I think it's a powerful combination. And so. No, he does a phenomenal job with it. I've never worked with Vic, but a lot of respect from afar, obviously, and then just the people that have worked with him speak so highly of how he calls a game, and he's usually a step ahead of the opposing play caller. So it'll be a challenge here just to make sure that we're trying to keep him as off balance as we possibly can. And it really starts up front. This is a really good front seven guys, and we got to take it to them there and play on their side of the line of scrimmage.
What do you remember about last year's Thanksgiving game against the Bears?
Shoot, I don't remember much about last year. I don't remember much about last week, to be honest with you. No, that was a heck of a game. Came down to the wire. It was, it's being on the opposing sideline there. It was a good one for Detroit that week. So that's about all I remember, though.
In your own life, does it feel a long ways away? Just all the changes that have happened to you since?
Yeah, no, I got a short-term memory, I think, and so I turn the page pretty quickly. But those are things maybe during the summertime, and I get a chance to have a beer, on a nice warm day. I can reflect and think back on, things from the days in the past. But it was a long time ago. It feels like at this point, and really happy with where we are here and what we're building here right now.
Obviously, you dealt with short weeks as an OC, but now as a first-time head coach, what additional challenges have you had to deal with, now that you're running things?
Yeah, I think, as a play caller, it's the right balance between how do we attack that opposing defense, but yet we want our guys to play fast, knowing they're not getting as many practice reps. And so, fortunately, we're towards the back half of the season now, and I have a better feel for our guys and how much information they can handle and newness they can handle on a short week. And so I feel better about that from a volume perspective. But yet as a head coach, it's I still want to go through all this tape and make sure I have a big picture mindset in terms of how we want this game to go for us. That gives us the best chance to come away with the win. And so it'll be all the way up until probably kickoff time that I'm watching the tape, and I'm just making sure my head's in the right spot to where I can help our guys out the most.
What are the keys when preparing Caleb to face those like pre-snap disguises of a Vic Fangio defense? Like, what do you tell Caleb about those?
Yeah, it's I mean he does a great job. It all looks the same for the most part pre-snap, and then post-snap you try to get your confirmation on what those coverages are. And so he's got to make sure he maintains discipline with his eyes, maintain discipline with what he sees post-snap. Our route runners got to be very detailed and disciplined in how they're doing things, making sure we're at the right depths and recognizing whether it's, is it quarters, is it cloud, is it single high. It all changes on the snap, and when you have elements of our offense that we are reading the coverage with our routes, I think it's a challenge to make sure everything's on the same page in the passing game. I think they do a great job making it muddy. They really do, and I think that's part of the beauty behind what they do.
And when you watch Jalen Carter, what do you find most impressive about the impact he has?
Yeah, I mean he's a twitchy guy, violent player, just very difficult to block one-on-one, and then he finds a way to split double teams as well. So you can see a number of teams this year on tape. They try to get him on these backside combinations or even front side on the deuce blocks, and yet he finds a way to split in between those guys, and so it's really impressive. Plays hard. I mean, you see him all over the tape, even on these plays that most defenses take off, like the offense clocking it in the 2-minute drill. He's over here trying to dive between the center's legs and get an interception. And so we're going to be mindful of where he's at. And it's not just him. I think Jordan Davis is playing really good football up front. They got a lot of depth on the edges right now. Their linebackers, they're stacked linebackers. I mean, they got 3 or 4 guys that can really play, run to the football, hit, downhill. I mean, it's a really good unit, and so we're going to have to make sure that we're, it starts with our technique. We got to play with low pad level. We got to come off the football, and we got to play physical this week.
You mentioned Jordan Davis. He has 6 batted passes this season. Is there anything that offensive linemen or even Caleb can do to kind of avoid that from happening?
I mean, I think that's part of playing is, we're trying the best we can to get their hands down, particularly on our quick game type mentality plays. Our O-line knows that, but sometimes that's the cost of doing business too, particularly when you got a joker like that's so long. He's tall and long arms, and so it doesn't take much for him to potentially get in the throwing lane.
If Theo's healthy, is he your starting left tackle?
We will see.
With Ozzie, did he show enough to prompt you to at least to take a look at?
Ozzie did a great job last week. Yeah, he did a great job last week, and he was a big reason why we were able to win that game.
How do you account for that? He was obviously uncomfortable during the summer of trying to get settled on the left side. He gets moved over to right, and then he gets the development through the course of the months and plays pretty well on the left side. What did you see there?
Yeah, I don't know what it was over probably like the last 4 weeks or so, but it's almost like things have slowed down for him, and I feel it around the building, not even on the practice field as much. I feel it in the building with him where there's a little less, stepping on eggshells, and it's like he's coming out of his shell a little bit, and he, he's not a rookie anymore as far as I'm concerned. It kind of feels that way just being around him personality-wise, and when that opens up, I think your play, you just kind of cut it loose and you play ball, and so I felt that from him, and I don't know why that is the case or anything like that, but he's been, I'm not saying a different guy, but it's like, okay, he knows he belongs. He knows he belongs. I think he's got confidence, and doesn't really matter right side or left side. I think he knows he can be a very productive player at this level.
Ben, how do you take advantage of kind of more of those underneath areas with that linebacking core and how well they're playing right now?
Yeah, no, it's a challenge. Anytime you play a match or man style defense like this, they take the air away, and so I think there's certain elements of our offense that we can try to challenge them and their rules potentially, and hopefully have them have bad eyes at times. But it's a really disciplined bunch, and they've been in the scheme now for 1.5 years, and so they know what they're doing. They're doing it at a high level. So it'll be that's the hard thing to do. But like I said before, I think the details with which we execute are going to be at a premium here this week. Thank you
So much.